I don't know about you, but it seems like the price of everything is going up, and it seems as if everyone is tightening the belts. Well, I want to tell you a true story about something that I learned that changed my life regarding this. I'm talking about finances, and I want to share it with you, and hopefully it'll be the start of a change in your life too. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Write Your Own Story. My name is James Taylor. I'm an online counsellor, hypnotherapist, life coach, hypnotherapy supervisor. I'm also an author, a podcaster and a YouTuber. So let's not mess around, let's get straight into this. I want to teach you about something that I learned many years ago that truly was one of the things that changed my entire life, and it came about because of a financial situation. So let me tell you the backstory first of all. For those who've been on this channel before will probably know that in a previous career of mine, I was a detective in the police, classed as a professional job. But there was a problem. My outgoings were so much, and I was trying to cut them down as much as I could, but I wasn't earning enough to cover the outgoings. And I was massively overdrawn, and I was maxed out with that as well. And I was really struggling. It was an awful time. Now, I used to make a joke about it. I used to say to people, I don't know why they call it getting paid. All I seem to do is hold on to it for a few hours, and then everyone else seems to take it. And that's how it used to be. Now, there was a defining point in my life, which I won't bore you with the circumstances, but there was a defining point in my life when I thought, I need to get smarter at this. I need to get very smart, and I need to get smart quick. Now, I was already in the process of transitioning from a police officer to a therapist. So this was in my own journey, if you like. And I was learning about all these different things that I hadn't learned about before. I'd never even heard of them. And so many light bulbs were going on. And I thought, there's a different way to live. I didn't realise there was a different way to live. It seemed like everyone else was doing okay, but I wasn't. And I always seemed to be the one struggling financially. It was awful. It was awful. A very dark, distant memory, I'm glad to say. Now, in my own journey, one of my mentors recommended a book to me. And as you can tell by me, I'm a bit of a reader, and I love learning new things. Now, my mentor recommended this particular book, and it was called The Richest Man in Babylon. And I've still got the copy here that I bought years ago, and it's only a tiny book. But this book gave me some knowledge that I didn't have. And I implemented it, and things started to change for me. Now, what the book is about, it starts off where there's two blokes, and they work really hard, but they've got no money. And yet a friend of theirs, who they all went to school together, a friend of theirs who also was from the same economic background as them, was the richest man in Babylon. And these two guys are talking one day, and they're saying, how did he make so good with all his money? There was no inheritance came his way. He didn't have two pennies to rub together like us, and we just don't know how he's done it. So what they decide to go over to speak to their friends and say, will you tell us your secret? And he does. And the book is all about lessons that this person gives to his two friends, and it's an incredible read. It really is. It's an incredible read. Now, the book is more than just him having a conversation with his two friends. In the book, the king of Babylon comes to him and says, you're the richest man in Babylon. Will you teach the wise elders of Babylon how to do this? What you're doing that no one else is doing. So then we can educate our people, so we can become the richest nation in the world. And this man agrees to do so. So it's filled with lessons, and truly I can't tell you what a difference it made, because it wasn't overnight. It wasn't like a get rich quick scheme, and it's not like get involved in stocks and shares and getting cryptocurrency and all this stuff. It's none of that at all. There was very simple changes and lessons that you can do that I implemented in my life, and things started to change. Now, to give an example, every New Year's Eve I was always in the red financially, always. And I got this book around, and it must have been around the autumn, really, when I got the book. And it's only cheap on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. But I got it and I immediately started to implement it. That was the first New Year's Eve that I was in the green, not the red. Or the black, whichever way you want to say it. I was in credit in my account. That was the first New Year's Eve. And it was only by a few pound. That's all. It was only a few pound. But for me, it didn't make a difference whether it was 1 penny. I was not in debt at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. And I made a vow to myself, I will never be in that position again. And I never have been. And I never intend to be. Because I've learned, not only from this book, but from other books as well, but this is a great start. If you're struggling a little bit with financial matters, it might seem strange that if you're struggling financially, buy this book, right? Because it's going to cost you some money. But truly, it's a really good investment to make in yourself, because you can apply it into other areas of your life. So, I would recommend the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Bit of a shout out, bit of a strange one, but I thought I'd pick one of the books off the shelf and talk about it. And I might do that in future episodes as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I haven't given you any techniques from the book intentionally, because if you decide to take the next step, I don't want to rob you of your discovery. There's something, personally I think, there's something special about discovering something yourself. So I could just tell you and you go, yeah, okay, and get on with your day. But if you decided to make the investment in yourself, buy the book, which is probably £8 or something. I'm guessing, I haven't even looked on Amazon. But if you make an investment in yourself and buy the book, there will be light bulbs in that book for you. Now, there can be light bulbs that go out, or there can be light bulbs that stay on. And what I would suggest is that if you implemented some of the lessons, you don't have to implement them all, but if you were to implement some of the lessons from this book financially, things would start to change for you, and it wouldn't take that long either. So that's why I'm intentionally not going into some of the tactics and techniques from the book. Okay, so I'm doing it out of kindness, not out of trying to tease you up in any way. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please get the book, it's a great one. And I will see you on the next episode. So this is James from Write Your Own Story, and from me to you, my best wishes. Bye bye.